Hi Stitchers, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Stitching with Nicole. I would normally tell you what day it is, but because of how I'm filming this week, today is surprise, surprise, surprise. And I am back for another stitching update. It has been a couple weeks. I did have a retreat that I went to in Amana, the farm girl gathering with Brenda Gervais. It was a wonderful weekend. I'm sure you've seen some recap videos and stuff out there. I'm really not going to do a recap video. I have a ton of stuff to talk about. And I know that not everyone loves recap videos. I took like 0 photos. I will show you the piece because I do have a new start on it. But I have, like I said, a lot to talk about. I have FFO'S, finishes, I have new starts. I have my felt stitching dies. My summer release has been released. I want to show you guys all of that. I want to talk about how you can get the chart for that because I am not releasing it to the general public, all of that good stuff. So I am going to talk about that in my video today. I have loads of Enable Vision, yippee, for you guys today. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive in to today's episode. As always, I want to remind you guys, please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. That helps me so much. So like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I want to let you guys know that something that I feel very strongly about that I do for you is I list everything I talk about down in the description below. Now, YouTube does have a limit of how much they allow you to put in that description box, and I go over it quite often because these videos are rather long. When that happens, which is almost every Flosstube episode, to be honest, the rest of the information is in the first pinned comment in the comments section. So if you're ever looking for something, I provide that there. That is something I just feel really strongly about, that if I talk about it in the video, even if I've talked about it before, I try to put it down in the description. If I miss something, definitely reach out and let me know. But I want to provide a very enjoyable viewing experience for you guys. The other thing, timestamps are listed down in the description below. So if at any time you are wanting to jump to a certain section, or you wanted to see like the quilt that I had been talking about, or a finish, or whatever, you can jump to that section very easily by clicking those timestamps. Okay, with that being said, we're going to dive right in to FFO'S. Okay, so something that I do whenever I have a new stitching video or I have something to share with you is I do have a newsletter. You can sign up for my stitching newsletter by clicking the link below. Make sure if you only want my stitching content that you click the little checkbox next to Stitching with Nicole, so those are the only emails you get from me. I don't send them out like weekly. I do if I have, I try to. If I have a weekly Stitching with Nicole episode, it's been a little sporadic here of late, and that's only because my schedule has been crazy. I've had company, I've been out of town, and I'm filming this in between having company, so who knows? But there will be a new newsletter that goes out in conjunction with this video. But what I want to say about that is I always provide, well, yes, I think so far. I like to give you a little behind the scenes, a little preview of something I don't share anywhere else. No, nowhere on social media or anywhere else in my newsletter. And it's usually an FFO or it's some sort of information. It's something specific to that newsletter that's just a little thank you for taking the time to subscribe, to view, all of that good stuff. Well, it's been a couple weeks. My last Stitching with Nichol newsletter went out, and it's been like 2.5 years. I finally FFO'd the Teresa Kogut Create chart. And you guys might remember, if you've been with me for a while, that I did a custom color conversion with color and cotton for this. This Create Every Day is by Teresa Kogut. It is a free download. I am going to provide a link for you down below. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was my first time stitching on 40 count linen, and it's 40 count blush by Zweigart. I will also link it below because it is just the perfect, super soft pink. Let's flip the camera around and have a close-up look and talk all about this finish. Oh, you're getting a sneak peek of all the other things. Hold please. Okay, so here is the Create Every Day finish. Now, what I want to talk about this, I struggled so hard of how I wanted to finish this. And the only reason being is that I knew that I wanted some sort of a rainbowy type of trim on a pillow. I was pretty certain I wanted to make this into a pillow to put here in my craft room. I actually have Billy bookcases. Those are the bookcases you see behind me. Up high, I decorate, and then on the other side of the room that you don't see during my filming, there's some shelves over there, and I also have those decorated. So I have a lot of room to really, it's all kind of up high, but I have a lot of room to place, things that work in my craft room. And this definitely is an inspirational, create everyday type of thing to place in a craft room, or even maybe in a stitchy box or something. And I knew I wanted to make a little pillow with it, but I wanted this rainbow trim, and I could never find exactly what I wanted. And in my newsletter, I talked about how I Frankensteined together some cottage garden threads. This is, I think, the Jabara Daisy, or Jabara, I think. Is that how you say that? Could be wrong. The thread, and their threads are very variegated, but they come pre-cut. So it was the perfect color, like it matches the finish perfectly. However, because the strands are so short, it makes it really hard to make it into cording, which is what I did using the Kreinik custom quarter. It makes it hard to make long enough cording. It's kind of teeny tiny. And especially I knew I wanted to have it tied and have some little strings dangling. Well, if you are part of my Stitching Needles and Thread Patreon, it is my Patreon behind the scenes type of content or extra bonus content. I did do a Patreon exclusive behind the scenes for this finish. It won't be something that I'm sharing on YouTube publicly. You can catch it, it's kind of just an exclusive thing there, mostly because it was just a little bit of a rough cut of a video, if that makes sense. So what I ended up doing was I actually took the cottage garden threads, variegated floss, I tied the lengths together, which is going to leave knots in it. Yes, it is. And then I made my cording, and it is noticeable. So let me see. You can see a couple of little spots. Like this is where I ended it, so it's overlapped here just a little bit. But you can see in a couple spots there might be some little knots, and most of them were in the same area. So here they are. That's where I tied all of them together. And I knew I was going to have some tassels hanging. Actually, my floss was not long enough, so I had to go ahead and make cording out of another little piece. And it looks like it's all one piece, and that I've tied it into a knot and I've dangled these little tassels down here along the side. But it disguises the fact that there's little knots here. Now, I don't mind it really all that much, but this does disguise it where you're not seeing that when you just look at it. So I don't mind. Now, I talked about this in my behind the scenes video. I did stitch on my cording with one strand of this coordinating floss. And that is because if I ever find something that I like better, I can snip this off and it's not going to hurt my pillow at all, and I can sew on a different trim. If it ever bothers me someday that I had to kind of, like I said, Frankenstein my variegated floss together to make the cording, I could always change it. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Probably not, but there is that option out there. So down in the description below, I'm going to link to everything that I can that I use for this pillow, the free chart, the linen. If this is in stock, this color, I will link that as well. And also all of these little flower pins, I picked 3 from my stash. They are from Decorative Sewing Pins. My friend Vicky has a wonderful shop that sells zipper charms and decorative pins, and I thought they were so pretty and matched this stitch perfectly. To finish my pillow, I did sew it into a pillow. I filled it with wool roving, and I cut a little slit in the back, stuffed it, hand stitched that little opening shut, and then I just placed one of these Sweetwater labels over the back to hide where it has my little, again, Frankenstein patch. But I have really been loving these kind of pillow finishes lately. You can see it's stuffed nice and firm. I love the wool roving and how it feels in the pillows. And I love, love, love my Create Everyday finish. It felt so good to finish up one of those older stitches. Next up, Patreon members did get a sneak peek of a finishing tutorial. I've actually filmed, I filmed 4. You guys in Patreon in my stitching tier have seen 2 of them. That's the only 2 I have edited so far. I have filmed 4 for you. I'm going to work on getting those other 2 up ASAP, but I have 2 more full finishes, and both of them have video tutorials that I will be putting up on my YouTube channel at some point. But like I said, Patreon members did get those first, and they have already seen them. So if you want to join Patreon, you can at any time, and you will also get early access to any of those kinds of videos. So I'm going to flip the camera. I have been on a mission to finish some things, and the first thing I pulled out was the Patriotic Shaker Box set by the Scarlet House. I started this back in January, and I pulled this out and was able to stitch it up in about 2 evenings. I absolutely love it. I think it is so gorgeous, and I did finish it on one of these LaHaye's shaker boxes. I did order this when I got this chart a long time ago, and I did finish it very much like the cover. There are not directions, and so I kind of figured it out, filmed the process, and I put it up, or edited a video, and I will eventually put this up probably a little bit either later this month is probably what I'm thinking for general release. But I love this finish. I used the called for fabric, the called for floss, and I used some sticky board and batting to make all this. I did have to figure out the sticky board. I talk about making my template in the video, how I figured that out. And then there does seem to be some cording around that in the chart photo. I tried a couple of different things, and I ultimately decided I really liked the white. So I made white cording. I did stitch it to my piece. I am a big advocate of that because if I ever want to change it, there's no glue to remove. So I did stitch it on to my oval. I left some dangling little tassels. You guys know I'm a huge fan of dangling tassels. And I kept this finish really, really simple. I don't think it needs a whole lot else. I think it's absolutely beautiful, just like this. You can display it kind of like like it's shown here in the photo. You can keep it like just like this. I love it, and this is going to be a beautiful part of my patriotic decor this year and beyond. But absolutely love this. I didn't think I needed to add anything else to it, and it's beautiful. It's stitched up fast, and I have another finish. I was so thrilled to have yet another finish plus an FFO. And for anyone who doesn't know, FFO stands for Fully Finished Object. So that is the Patriotic Shaker Box by the Scarlet House. Okay, so I have been wanting to finish this forever. I managed to finish it, edit it at the 11th hour before I left to go to Amana. I actually finished working on the description and stuff while I was in Amana last Thursday afternoon, and published this video to my Patreon at that time. This video will also be coming to my YouTube channel at some point, but it is the PA Pennsylvania Tomato Dutch Pinkeep by With Thy Needle and Thread. I did get the finishing kit, so I had all of these things, but I am going to talk about some of the things that I did different. Let me flip that camera around. So this is the chart, and here is my finish. Now this is a drum. It's called a Pinkeep, but it's basically a drum finish. And I know a lot of you have been wanting to see a drum finish. I do have multiple things that will be made into a drum. I'm going to talk about that here in just a little bit as well, about a sale coming up starting in July. And I will be focusing and featuring at least one, maybe more drum tutorials in July, just to kind of correlate with this stitch along. It is not a stitch along I'm hosting. In fact, I'm going to come back to me. It is not a stitch along I'm hosting. It's a stitch along by some friends that I made at the 141 spring break retreat. And they really wanted a drum tutorial, and I thought this is the perfect opportunity to join in on a sal, on a chart that I want to stitch, as well as provide that drum tutorial for my viewers. So this is a drum tutorial, but it also is the finish for this wonderful design. So let's talk about this finish. I did finish it mostly exactly like the chart said, with the exception of two things. First, I did back my stitch with some lightweight fusible interfacing. I filled this completely with ground walnut shells. And the other difference, you may notice that the top of my tomato and the top of my strawberry are uniform and look die cut, and it's because they are. This is the Sepal set from Benzie Design. I use this die all of the time. It comes in, I think, 3 different sizes. I use 2 of them here, and there is a template in the chart to cut these out. I just opted to die cut them because I like to die cut. I like the uniformity of it, and so I did make that little adjustment. Now with this design, you will notice that the way this is charted, Brenda has charted it so that when you stitch this together, the 2 sides of the strip that you stitch come together to complete this design. So it is complete all the way around. I absolutely love this. This is another wonderful addition to my craft room. I couldn't love this design more. It's another one that I started way back when, and I was able to finish stitching in no time flat. It's stitched on 36 count vintage country mocha, which is the called for fabric, with DMC 22, the called for floss. Everything about this is called for, with, like I said, there are 2 or 3 little minor changes that I made when I was finishing this. So again, this is the Pennsylvania Dutch Tomato Pinkeep by With Thy Needle and Thread, and I could not love this more. It is so stinking cute. Yay! Okay, before I talk about any of my cross stitch finishes, I want to talk about some other FFOs for my felt stitching. So as many of you know, I am a felt stitcher. I shared my Life is Sweet, my strawberry finish. I'm just going to pop it in right here. I didn't bring it in here to show you in this video because I have shown it here before. But two things about that. And then we're going to talk about my 4 new die sets for Spellbinders. The first thing, the Life is Sweet chart, it was a retreat piece. Just like any retreat, it is exclusive to the retreat, at least for a period of time. However, I have reworked the PDF and I have made it available to my Stitching Patreon members. So if you are in my Stitching tier Patreon, that chart is free for you if you join. So definitely check that out if you would like to stitch it. And that retreat really just happened at the 1st of May. So, you know, it's still very soon after the retreat and I'm just not releasing it right now. But I did make that as a perk for Patreon. Okay, that being said, let's talk about my 4 new sets. So many of you probably know, if you follow me for both and have seen it, but I am going to talk about the strawberry first. So I have 4 new dies. This is called Berry Blossom. This is what the berry looks like when stitched as a plush shape. So this, and then obviously we used this design for the Life is Sweet cross stitch felt crossover design. So cute and fun. And I have another bonus project to share with you. This is the strawberry garland. So I stitched together multiple of these strawberries. I strung them with some wool felt balls from Benzie Design, added the leaves and the little flower from the die set, also die cut and stitched those, and it makes the cutest little banner. Now, there is a video tutorial coming for this, and there will be a bonus with one of the other die sets in there that I think would be perfect for back to school. If you are a teacher, now is the perfect time to start working on some of those things. So this is perfect for right now for decorating all of our strawberry decorating. Perfect little accompaniment, little project, you know, for our strawberry stitching, maybe to help decorate a display. But I have an idea for our little cheeky apple for back to school as well. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit, and that video is coming soon. Another fun little project I want to share with you is they make the most adorable little like add-on pillows. If you have strawberry stitching and you want to add a little strawberry cross stitching and you want to add a little felt stitching pillow to it, how adorable is this? So I made this little pillow. I did add the bee from the Floral Beehive. I like to mix and match my die sets, and I finished it very much like my little create pillow with that little label on the back, but this is stitched with felt on the front, quilting cotton on the back, and really, really cute and fun. Super, super quick and easy to make. So that is the strawberry. Let's talk about that cheeky apple next, okay? So cheeky apple is my next die set. You can make 2 different styles of apples with this. And yes, there is going to be an apple garland coming, very much like the strawberry garland that you can see hanging up there. You can also see the bunnies from Easter. They're too cute. I left them out. But one of the things I love about the cheeky apple set, well, first of all, he's adorable, but this little flower has a fun loopy flower center. I am going to link to that video right here as well as down below. I did that live. So I talked about the sunflower bloom die set that we're going to talk about next. And I talked about this one because we combined them together. But I have multiple projects that I am going to be sharing with this going forward, especially as we get closer back to school. But it's the perfect time to start stitching up some cute little apples. Imagine these tucked into your displays. And here is an additional idea that you could do with your apple. Here is my apple pillow. We have yellow, red, and green apples. I put a little jute twine on one of those, sewed it into a little pillow. Yes, this is some Tilda fabric here on the back, and I put another little label because I did cut it in the back. Now you might be saying, Nicole, you usually stitch up the seams, you know, along the bottom. I'm going to give you my best tip of the day. And it's not even really my tip. When I was sewing some pillows like last year with felt, with some of my other felt stitching dies, I did the seam down here as normal, and I noticed it was a little wonky, but I made it work because I'm always a big fan of making it work. And then I attended the Jingle Ball, and Kathy was working with felt, and she talked about how felt stretches, and I was like, duh. So if you are going to work with felt, I would suggest making your finish like this, cutting an opening in the back somewhere, because felt stretches more than your cotton fabric. So it's going to give you a much more beautiful finish if you finish it this way. Plus, pop a little label, make another little felt shape and stitch it over here, a little felt patch if you want to. You do not have to use an iron-on patch. I just like them, but I love felt patches. I use them a lot on different finishes, but this is my cheeky apple finish. And again, how cute would this be as a teacher gift, as a back to school gift for your child's teacher? Or if you're a teacher and you like to decorate, maybe you want to make a little tiered tray for your classroom. How cute would it be to do that? I wish that this had come out when my kiddos were little and, I needed teacher gifts, because I think this is so fun. You could even put a little pocket on the back and tuck a little gift card inside for a teacher. So many fun ideas. So, I'm going to be all about the grandma life someday. No, there's no news on that front, by the way. But I think I could help out my kids, and I could make gifts for the kids' teacher, for grandkids' teachers, right? So anyway, I love, love, love this. It was really fun to stitch, and I hope this inspires you. My whole goal with my felt stitching die collection is to show versatility, that it does, even though we love the little plush shapes, there's no hate on that. You could string a little twine in these and hang them too from a little tree. How cute would that be? But as cute as these are, I want to show versatility. And I personally love little stitching, little decor things like this. And so that is my whole goal going forward. And I'm going to show lots more things besides what I'm showing here. Okay, so that's Cheeky Apple. I said we're going to talk about sunflower next. Okay, so this is the sunflower. It is gorgeous and beautiful. I absolutely love it. It has this wonderful flower center. You could even put this on your cards. You could put it on a little, little girl's headband, a little baby's headband if you wanted to. I mean, you guys, the possibilities. And it doesn't have to be a sunflower. I'm going to be sharing with you a really fun idea where it's not a sunflower. So stay tuned for that. But I'm a Kansas girl, so sunflower, and we all love sunflowers. Us stitchers, we love sunflowers. So back in January, kind of backtracking, I didn't make a big deal about it when I showed you this finish because we had not announced that this was coming. But we work very, very far in advance for the Spellbinders die releases. And I already had all my prototypes and I was playing with them, and I'd already sewed together like all of these things. I'd sewn these all together for packaging, photography, was working on catalog projects, and I was finishing this berry, and I knew that instead of cutting my own things, I wanted to use the sunflower for my berry topper. So when I showed you the Erica Michaels Amber Waves berry, I just tried to kind of gloss over the fact that the top of my berry is the sunflower from my felt stitching collection. This is the Sunflower Bloom, and I did use it for the top of the berry, and I'm going to be using it again. And I'm going to show you exactly how to attach this, and I will show you that stitched piece here in a little bit, but that video will be coming to Patreon first, and it'll be coming to you guys soon, and you'll get to see that finish in this week's newsletter. So stay tuned for that, but I kind of wanted to mention that because, like I said, sometimes if you're real sneaky, you might get to see things sometimes. But I just tried to gloss it over at the time. because I couldn't really show you yet, but I was super pleased with my berry topper. So it matches perfect. And if this design is now available. Linda at Erica Michaels did make this available in a book at market, and I'm going to link that down below for you guys in case you want to stitch this, because I was asked a lot about this at the time, and Linda reached out to me and said, I think people are going to be happy, and then she did release the book at market back in March. So this is the beautiful Amber Waves berry by Erica Michaels design with my sunflower bloom. Okay. In my live for release day earlier this week, I did this pillow. So another pillow. I love pillows. I love, love, love them. We all do. And I do have other projects coming, but I did want to show how to do the sunflower. And I also shared in that video, which there's a live where I did a whole trunk show. It's a lot what you just saw here. But I also stitched these pieces, but I did edit the video because I put the pillow together after the live. So I'm going to link the edited video right here for you guys if you want to go see exactly how I made my pillow. I stitched 2 of the sunflower blooms. I also stitched the 4 leaves from the sunflower bloom set. The stems of my sunflowers is cording. I made cording out of DMC 730, and I tacked it down and used that as my stems. These small blooms here are from the Cheeky Apple set. That is this little bloom right here. I used that to fill in my little flower garden. I backstitched some stems for those flowers. And then the little leaf here, I actually don't have a small leaf in any of the die sets from this release. Well, I do, but they were too tiny. So I went to one of my fall release dies from last fall, the the Pumpkin Lane House, and I grabbed a leaf die from that and I used that. So you can always mix and match from amongst all the different things that you have. And then finally, yes, every flower garden needs a little bumblebee. So the bumblebee from the Floral Beehive was used on this. So 4 different die sets were used to make this. That's pretty extravagant. You would not need to do all of that. But again, I really wanted to show versatility, mixing and matching, and just some of the things that can be achieved with felt stitching dies. Then, of course, I did share how to make these wonderful loopy centers with the dies. It die cuts them and you're able to assemble them just like this. This little tag is from I picked it up at Fat Quarter Shop, pardon me. All the supplies for this are in that video that I'm linking in the description if you want to check that out. Oops. I did finish this just like all of the others. I cut a little slit back here, stitched it shut, and covered it with a patch. This Minky Kim fabric really just matched the whole vibe of this perfectly, and I'm super happy with how this turned out. I love, love, love it so much, and I hope you guys do too. My final set, and it's probably the thing I'm going to show you here in a minute, is the thing I've got asked, will there be a video tutorial? Yes, there will. It is coming soon. This is the Floral Beehive. And the bee that I've used on everything comes from this, but this adorable floral beehive comes with all you need to stitch up this adorable little set. Imagine stringing a little twine through here. It can be a little tag. It could be a little decoration. Absolutely super, super precious. You can stitch the flowers on or not. You can stitch the bee on or not. And this is probably the thing I am most proud of. I stitched this several months ago for the catalog, and I combined the floral beehive with the sunflower bloom to make a drum. So I made this drum completely from felt and Lady Dot Creates velveteen on the top and the bottom, but I sewed together the drum using my floral beehive, multiple bees. You can see they're flying around all over on here. I backstitched those in place. And the flowers are from some of my previous sets. So I pulled leaves, flowers, from different sets. I die cut the cheeky apple flower from a different color of fabric to coordinate back to everything going on my drum. And then when I stitched it all up, I made an additional sunflower bloom. I did 2 layers of the loopy center. So I did one in a dark chocolate color, a lighter brown color wrapped around that. So it's double what I normally do. And then I glued it to the top of my drum. So that is the Floral Beehive drum. Yes, there will be a video tutorial. It is so much fun to create, and I hope this jumpstarts your creativity and how you can maybe start combining or, you know, making a few felt things to decorate your home, whether you cross stitch or not. Maybe some of you just watch the videos. I know there's several paper crafters who watch these videos. Maybe this is something that will jumpstart and inspire you to maybe make a few little stitchy things for your home. I think they are just so much fun. Put it on a little stand. Chantal has some great little risers. I'm going to paint one to go with this, and I'm super excited to be able to display this with the rest of my bee decor. So again, Floral Beehive. And those are my 4 felt sets that have been released with Spellbinders, and thank you guys so much for all of the kind comments on my projects and on the dies. Let's talk about what I've finished stitching since I've last been here, which is quite a few things. There, right before I left for Amana, I was on a mission to just pull things out and get them stitched. So let's flip it around. I have shared most of these on Instagram. So the first thing I finished is the Stitching Quaker by Primrose Cottage. And if you have watched any of my other videos where I've shown this, I talked about how I decided to stitch mine with all the called for colors, but I am stitching on 46 count Dove by Color and Cotton. So it's very teeny tiny. See how tiny it is? And I love it. Thank you to the 2 viewers who left me a comment telling me I'd missed a couple of stitches in this flower, because I got that all fixed up. But I am going to probably wait to FFO this, because I am going to stitch the stitching quilt and stitching rules on this same piece of fabric. This is one that I purchased from Color and Cotton. So it's a giant piece of fabric, and it's going to be so tiny that I'm going to be able to get everything I want to on this. And I just don't want to cut it and have it unravel because it's serged. I stitched with all the called for Color and Cotton threads. That is a question I get asked quite a bit about this piece. And yes, I stitched it with all the called for, 1 strand over 2 on 46 count. So it's really teeny tiny. I love the colors. I love, love, love this release. It's amazing. So that is the first thing. And now I'm going to get started on those other ones. Here's all the colors. Aren't they pretty? Because I love this. The second thing I pulled out, and I don't know why it took me so long, and I also want to stitch everything in here, is I pulled out the Between Friends, a fall sampling book by Kathy of Hands On Design and Beth of Summer House Stitchworks. They have all 4 books are out now. I cannot recommend these enough. I think these books are phenomenal. You get tons of projects in each one, full instructions on, you know, how to put things together. I did do my own color conversion for I did the On the Vine sampler from the front, and I stitched mine on Dandelion, 36 count Dandelion by Color and Cotton with my Color and Cotton conversion, 1 strand over 2. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to finish this yet. I do think I'll frame it. I may frame this one myself instead of taking it to Steve, but we shall see. I may take it to Steve. Who knows? I love, love, love it. Those white pumpkins are everything. Isn't that fun? I finished this, like I said, I think I was to right here. Like I'd stitched down to about here, and I stitched all the rest of this in one evening. Super duper quick. So beautiful. And again, that's the On the Vine sampler from the Between Friends, a fall sampling. I don't know why I pulled out a fall stitch, but I felt like it. And we all know I do what I want. Okay, one more finish, I think, unless I have to sneak in here and edit this. And that is something I started and finished when I got home from Amana because I wanted to film a video for you guys. So that is The Sewing Bee by Erica Michaels. I've had this chart for quite a while. I knew I wanted to stitch this, and after finishing the Amber Waves Berry, I stitched this up so I could film a video on how to attach that sunflower bloom to your berry. So that will be a new video coming soon, and I am going to finish this up. I absolutely love this. I stitched this. The called for was stitched on 32 count Legacy. I stitched mine on 36 count Ophelia by Color and Cotton. 1 strand over 2, all of the called for, with the exception I did use Classic Colorworks Bamboo for the bee's wings instead of DMC Ecru because I didn't have any. Well, I'm sure I have some somewhere. I didn't want to look for it. I didn't want to go buy any, so I used bamboo for the wings. Love this fabric, by the way. It is beautiful. Linda did put her initials. Well, you can't see it in the photo, but on the chart you can see it. So I just actually took a Blackbird chart. I put my initials over here because she doesn't provide an alphabet, but I have plenty of alphabets and I really liked that. She does have a template for finishing the berry in 28, 32, 36, and 40. So really any size you want to stitch it. And because 36 is probably my easiest sweet spot, even though I know I've been on that 46 count, who knows. I went ahead and did it in 36 because I think it'll still work really nicely for the sunflower bloom. So stay tuned for that, but isn't it going to be so cute? This stitched up in no time flat. If you haven't made a berry, highly encourage you to give it a try. It is so much fun. Hi everyone, a bit of a costume change, outfit change, day change. I forgot to share one of my new starts and finishes from the Farm Girl Gatherings retreat in Amana. I started and finished this stitch. I had this all kitted up for a while and I felt like it was the perfect stitch to take with me to work on until we got our retreat piece. And I'm going to share that with you now, and my plan is to work on this over the next few weeks and hopefully get all of these stitched. So let me flip my camera. I got Keeper of the Pins a couple of years ago because I did purchase this when my local L&S was in business, and I don't know why I have not started these because I absolutely love them. So I got Keeper of the Pins and I had it completely kitted up with the called for floss. Oh, looks like I forgot to put this one on the thing, and I had to pick up this one. I must have stolen from this at some point. So I did pick up a Pamlico color when I was at the retreat. And this is all stitched on, I want to say 36 count. Let me double check that really quickly. Or not quickly. 36 count Vintage Country Mocha. So I went ahead and stitched the ABC. I do need to still put in the pins in my tomato. That's the only thing. The pins with the little beads, which I'm going to do today. But this is, which one is this one even called? I am going to look that up real fast. It's called Red Sampler Pincushion. And again, stitched with all of the called for floss, 1 strand over 2. And I want to stitch everything in here, as well as the collector design that kind of coordinates with this. I didn't bring it in here, but I'm going to work on my Soulless Fed with needle and thread next, and just work my way through all of these because I absolutely love them and have for years and years, and I don't know why I haven't stitched them yet. So again, that's the little sampler piece from Keeper of the Pins. Let's talk now about some stuff I've stitched on. So I have stitched. We're going to do kind of everything. I may do whips first and then we'll do new starts. Let me flip my camera. The first whip is, I've been working on the Mary Bovee sampler by Stacy Nash. This is a stitch along that Holly Jones and I started here in May, or back in May, I guess I should say now. And it took me a while to get into this. And I know you're going to be looking at it and you're like, well, it looks like you still have a long way to go, friend. And I do. But I hooped it finally. I had such a hard time stitching this on the dark fabric, and I don't know why I didn't put it in a hoop before, but I was to about here. I put it in a hoop and I was like, I buzzed all the way down, I buzzed across, and I started filling in the pink blooms, and that's where I got to before I left for Amana. So this is the Mary Bovee Sal. I'll put the hashtag here. Holly and I would love to see your progress. So many of you have actually finished it. All kinds of different fabric colors. Absolutely incredible and amazing. I love seeing it. I'm stitching mine on 36 count Dark Soil by XJU Design. All of the called for Gentle Arts colors. One strand over 2. I love it. It is slightly challenging stitching on the dark fabric, but I find that putting it in a hoop makes this a lot easier for me. And a lot of you know I am not a hoop stitcher for the most part. I'm usually an in-hand stitcher, but the hoop made a huge difference for me in this stitch, and I am going to hoop the rest of it, and I am going to attempt to knock this little cute sampler out as quickly as possible. I know in Holly's recent video she talked about now that she has the border, she's into the inside stuff and it's so much more fun to stitch. That is kind of what I'm hoping for as well. And again, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I wasn't loving it, but now that I have discovered I should stitch it in a hoop, it's going to go so much quicker, and I'm super excited to see it finished. So that's the first thing that I've worked on. And again, I'm stitching on 36 count Dark Soil by XJU with the called for floss, 1 strand over 2. So this next one, I should probably call it a new start, but it is a whip, and it isn't actually a new start. I am working on, what is this guy called even? First Winds of Autumn, Berry, from Blackbird. First of all, I love everything in this book. Winds of Autumn, I'm going to link it down below. Favorite. You guys know me. I'm an autumn girl. I love everything in here. I've stitched this. I've started this. I should probably just pull that out and get that one done. That's going to be part of my drum tutorial in July. This berry, I love. So I started this one back in, I think, what was it, October, when I was having my new Startapalooza. And for some reason, I felt like pulling this out last week before I went to Amana. When I was doing after I had finished a lot of things, I pulled this out. But all that I had done on this, and I'm itching to get back to this, by the way, was this. This right here was my little teeny tiny start for my fall Startapalooza. I stitched all of this, and I stitched all of this in like 2 evenings, I think. I didn't have a whole lot of stitch time. The 2 evenings I worked on this, I didn't have a ton of stitch time, and it was stitching up quick. I think the bird starts right here. I'm itching to do that, but I'm making myself do all the things over here. I am going to be finishing mine as the berry. I like the berries. I have seen several people frame it. It is stunning, gorgeous. Olivia of Pumpkin Hollow Quilts is who I'm thinking of. In fact, she is the one, I had seen her stitch this, and it was what inspired me. Had to have it. I want to stitch this little bag. I want to stitch this bird. I mean, you guys, this book is so good. And the other one is good too, but this is, everything in here I think is just gorgeous and beautiful. I am using all of the called for Weeks Dye Works. They're too good. They're perfection. 1 strand over 2. I know this is a 36 count. I just don't know the color. And like I said, I will put it, I'll have had it on the screen. So that is my other whip that I worked on since I've seen you last. You guys, how fun is this? I have like lots to show. Sometimes I feel like I have not a lot, and this time I have so much stuff that I have done. You may have remembered that in one of my previous videos, Tammy of Scattered Seed Samplers, she gifted me several bunny charts, plus she gifted me her wonderful nesting together Pinkeep chart. This is part of the Vintage Feather series for 2025. There are 3 in the series. They come out 3 times a year. I posted about it on Instagram. I will put all of the details down in the description below, as well as the link to Tammy's Etsy shop. Join if you haven't. I think it's going to be super duper fun. I am going to be stitching every single one of these this year, and I did start this one. It is stitching up quick and fast, but I'm going to tell you the little boo-boo I made, but we're rolling with it. We're going with it. We're going to pretend like I did it on purpose, okay? So I started this, again, I started this like right before I left for Amana. Only worked on it maybe 1 evening or so. Let me flip this around and I'll show you where I started in the middle. And you might be thinking, because I guess I couldn't see it because I stitched in the evening when it was dark outside, and I just picked it up and started going. You get everything you need to get started. You get your fabric, you get your floss, you get the finishing details, because we do get the instructions to make that little strawberry. You get the stuff for the strawberry, all the fabric, the felt. You get the fabric for the background, the backing on your pillow. Everything. Everything comes in here. The chart, instructions, all of it. So good. But I picked this up, and I mean, I literally just started going. And when I posted about this on Instagram, and I went to photograph it, I realized that the Vintage Country Mocha 36 count, I started stitching on the plain side, not the modeled side. Now, I know some people make that choice because they don't want to do the modeled side. That would not have really been my choice. I do not mind this. Mine is just not going to have the modeling. I don't think I care, because it's going to be filled with this beautiful design. But I did want to mention that to you guys if you were looking at it thinking, huh, yours looks different. What fabric did you use? Well, I used the fabric in the kit. I just made a little blunder boo-boo, and I am not starting over. If I did, I would probably just grab another piece of Vintage Country Mocha from my stash. But you guys, I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I need to. I love this. It is stitching up so cute, and it's going to be perfect. I want to get this finished ASAP because it's going to be perfect with all of my other strawberry stuff. Don't you guys think? So, so cute. This is the Nesting Together Pinkeep by Scattered Seed Samplers. Can't recommend it enough. You get everything you need. It is packaged so adorably, and I am having a ball stitching this. Tammy is wonderful, and I highly recommend checking out her Etsy shop for all of her beautiful designs. Okay, shall we talk about the retreat piece from the Farm Girl Gatherings? We received the Stay True chart from Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread. This is the beautiful box it came in. Brenda did a wonderful talk about the Amana girls, about bonnets, about calico fabric. It was so inspiring. This photo is a vintage, like, photo postcard that she found in an antique store at some point, and it is what inspired this whole piece, and then that whole story about Amana girls. It was really interesting, and I'll be quite honest, I did not really know a whole lot about Amana going in, and it was, first of all, the town, the colonies are amazing. So interesting, so much fun had with friends. And I'm going to show you what we got and how much progress I got on my piece. So like I said, this is the box it came in, beautifully packaged. We got the fabric. It's 36 count winter brew by R&R. We got all of the overdyed and DMC, and I kitted up, or I put everything on a floss ring, and I put my DMC on some thread milk floss drops here. We, of course, got the chart. Here is what it's going to look like. Again, it's called Stay True by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. Look at all these pages. It's a big girl, but it's doable. And the chart is in color. It's just like all Brenda charts. It's a delightful stitch. Absolutely love it. Several people from the retreat have shown their progress, and I am amazed, you guys, at how much people have got done. It is gorgeous. So we got the chart. We also received this wonderful little prairie bonnet needle keep pattern from Brenda Gervais to make a little bonnet needle book. It was absolutely precious and adorable. And then Brenda also gave us this magnet and a card to put on the back of our framed piece when we are when we are done stitching and have it framed. And then the magnet, of course, is those ladies in their bonnets and calico dresses. Very fun. I'm going to keep it all in here, keep it nice. Beautiful. And let's talk about my start. Here is my start for Stay True. My plan had been to stitch the bones of the border all the way around, and I probably still will. I'm going to tell you why I stopped. I was dying to stitch something other than Weeks Dye Works Oscar, which is what I stitched here. And so I wanted to do a little bit of the red. Looks like I'm missing a little red berry here. So I just popped in and tried to complete this little section. And I really wanted to get down to this because I'll show it on here. This has got some cute little flowers and a little bumblebee. And I just felt like if I could pop in and do a little color here and there, it would give me a nice little break from the kind of monotonousness, I can't even say the words, of stitching that green border. Even though I am a I am a border girl all the way. I like a border and then I like to fill it in. So that's kind of my plan. It's a delightful stitch. I really think Brenda Gervais stitches are so enjoyable, so easy to stitch. The chart is in full color. Love everything about it. Everything about it, you guys, I am totally loving. I don't really think I'll stitch on it too much for right now. I have some patriotic things I want to stitch, but I may pick this up now and again just to get some stitches in it. It is so beautiful. It is definitely one that I am going to finish. So that is Stay True by Brenda Gervais. I almost thought I was done. You guys, how much stitching have I talked about today? But I have one more new start to share with you. So the Free Stitch Friday from Primrose Cottage is this wonderful 4th of July round right here. And if you guys have been here and seen any of the other Free Stitch Fridays that I've stitched from Primrose, I think I've exclusively stitched all of them on 46 count raw. I think have I done any other ones besides these? Don't remember, but I've stitched all of these on here. Haven't finished a bit of them. I need to do that. I was thinking that today. I started the 4th of July round down here. It's stitching up super fast. I did get the Valdani floss colors. It's only 3 colors It is light ecru, primitive blue, and rich wine. The variegation in these is gorgeous. Plus, I really love, this is like my jam for Patriotic. I really like this kind of more muted color palette. Love, love, love it. Stitching up super fast, and I have a very fun finishing idea for this that I cannot wait to share with you. On 46 count, my finish is just barely going to be over 3 inches in diameter. So here it shows you for 28, it would be about 5, a little over 5. On 32, 4.5, 36, 4, and on 25 count, 5 3/4, so almost 6. On 46, just about 3, because I'm a crazy pants and I like 46 and I like it super teeny tiny. So that is what I am stitching this on. I love it. I think I just need to add my white right here. I started in the center, I worked down, and then I'm just kind of working my way around. That's kind of working well for me. Isn't it beautiful? So this is the Free Stitch Friday. This was the Free Stitch Friday in June. And I'm going to have mine ready to go for decoration for 4th of July. I love it. Okay, so I had some feelings and thoughts, and I've posted about this on my Instagram earlier this week, but I really, really wanted to show my Winterberry case stitching box, and I didn't want to take everything out so it's not shut right now, but I wanted to show you the outside of the box. So I bought this Winterberry case probably a year and a half ago. I picked red. I love it, and I actually use it, but I hadn't been using it as much here lately, or I guess for maybe even for the last few months. And I actually saw a picture by Chelsea, Stitching Rin on Instagram. You guys might know her as Annie B's, one of Annie B's daughters. And she had done this really cute picture or post of her Winterberry case. It's the tartan plaid one that was the limited edition from last year that I'm super sad that I did not get. But she had put some stuff on the handle and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. So if you guys go to retreats, or even if you're just a collector or make your own, you probably have all these little doodads too. So what I decided to do is that I have lots of this stuff. I don't use it all because I've gotten lots at retreats. I've made my own. I have loads of stuff. And I got to thinking, wouldn't it be cute if I switch out my box seasonally, or maybe theme it every once in a while, just dress it up. So that's what I did. And I decided before I went to the Amana retreat, I was going to do a strawberry themed box for summer. And this is a cute little like scissor fob or thread bling that I got when I taught at the 141 spring break. So this went on the outside of my box. I just got a little ring here. This was actually hanging from the zipper pull on my box. I had purchased this. This is the Lori Holt Stork Scissor key fob. Then this had been on my scissors for a long time, but I decided to put it on my ring on my case. Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher stitched this for me at Stitch West last fall. And then one of the first gifts that I received from a viewer, and I cannot remember who sent this, I'm so sorry. If it was you, let me know. But sent me this wonderful little scissor fob. It has a little puppy on it. It has this beautiful little floral, a crown, and a heart. Just super, super cute. And I've actually had this on a pair of scissors since I received it. And so I put this on here too. I know these things may not be strawberry themed, but I picked the Stork Scissor Charm because it's red and I thought it was kind of cute. This will probably always stay on here or be somewhere. Same with this, just because it was I think it was the first one I ever received. So really, really fun. Okay, so when you open up the box, and I'm going to show it this way because I just think it's the easiest. let's go ahead and do the little pocket in the box first. I actually have another one from Holly Jones to put in here. These are the needle minders that I have received. This one says I love cross stitch. This says Retreat Friends 2004. This was from Jody Simply Stitching Ocala. I got this one from Sweetwater Stitcher at the Amana Retreat. And then, like I said, I have one of Holly Jones. It's in a different needle book that I'm going to put in here as well. Then in my pocket, I just put pink scissors because I was kind of going for a pink-red theme. I actually have a red-handled pair of scissors too, but I didn't think I needed 3 in here. So I did my Kohanas that I was gifted a while back, and I put this Minky Kim strawberry little charm on here. I don't use these as much. Let's go from like the back here. This is a corner gauge that I got in Amana, and I always like to just keep a corner gauge in my stitch case, so I swapped out the ones that I did have in here for this one. Again, I plan to kind of reconfigure my box seasonally or every once in a while just to kind of keep it fresh and fun and inspiring. My friend Lorinda, she's a Mary Crow on Etsy. She gifted this along with some of the other things I'm going to show here in a minute. And she has an Etsy shop. This is a super cute little floss card thing, and you can hang it, you can hook it on something if you want to, or I could take this off altogether and just put my floss on here. But I loved it because, again, it's strawberry themed. Her whole gift was strawberry themed, so I tucked this in here as well. Then I have my Golden Forge scissors. This brand is what I use 99.9% of the time. I have them in multiple colors. They are my absolute favorite. These are the pink ones. I think they're currently sold out at Hoop and Frame, but look around and see if you can grab them. They're super sharp. They're super smooth. I love them. And I put this little scissor fob or floss bling or what, I think it's a scissor fob, that I received from one of the participants at the 141 Spring Break Retreat, which was so fun because it was a kind of a strawberry theme. Well, it wasn't kind of, it was a strawberry theme project. You guys saw it. But I just thought that worked in here really nicely. I have a couple of clover binder clips because sometimes I need to clip up my fabric. So I tucked those in here. And then I had picked up this floss bobbin from Heartstring Samplery. It came in a trio, but I had this one, and then I've been gifted a couple of these. And I had these in my box just without anything on them at the retreat, and I had the idea to rip some fabric. I have a couple strawberry, well, I have several strawberry fabrics, but I picked these two. I ripped it, and then I just wound it around these floss bobbin cards to give them a little decoration, and I just pinned it on there. That means I can take it off, put it in my IKEA drawer, and switch these out if I want to seasonally or if I ever want to change them, whatever. But I think they're just a fun little accent to have in my box. And then I got this counting pin also from a viewer at the 141 Spring Break Retreat, and I just like it up here as well. I know it's not strawberry themed. I kind of have strawberry tomato, as you can see, but I just thought the color and everything was really, really cute. Okay, the tray. Maybe I'll do the tray last. Let's talk about what's inside. So you can lift out this inside piece, and in here I have some waxers. This one I bought. These have been gifts. This is actually the one I use all the time. Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher gave this a long time ago in, I don't even remember what retreat, but that was in a gift she gave, and I love that one. This is a little book from Jessica's gift at Amana that I tucked in here. I've got some pins. I've got some little protectors for fingers. I have a nail file because it always happens that I have a rough nail, and I like just having a little mini nail file in here. I always try to keep some floss rings and usually some floss drops. I had to purchase some at Amana. These are the thread milk ones, but I used some of them, but I'm keeping the rest in here just in case I ever need one. And then also I'm always gifted what, and you guys are too probably if you go to retreats, floss cards and or floss drop cards. They usually don't have holes punched in them. And at the retreat, I really needed floss drop cards and I got lots of them, but none of them had holes. So I bought the thread milk ones, but I actually had one of these at home. I purchased another one because it's a little one. It's a 1/2 inch circle punch to just leave in my box so that when I'm somewhere, I can punch my cards easily. Then I have a Floss Fairy wand. I have an Unstitcher from Lori Holt. I have the little thread winder ends or thread, you know, you can pull the threads through. I got a couple of them. I have some little tiny Kohana snips in here. And then I have like some little finger protectors. I don't use these as much. I haven't been poking my finger as much as I used to. And then the little thread nabbit that you can, you know, poke the thread through or snab it, I don't know, snag it, that's probably what it is. Just little tools, things I don't use tons, but that I like to have on hand. So just kind of some random little tools and whatnot goes in the bottom of my box. I don't lift this out very often, so it's things that I don't reach for a lot. Then in my tray, I do like to keep a little hoop just in case every once in a while I really need one. So I keep this little one that fits in the box in here. This little pillow, it actually was a tag on a bag, but I took it off to put in my box. My friend Lori made this. She made these for our friend group last summer. And so I took it off the ring it was on and I tucked it in my box. This velvet ribbon came off of Lorinda, a Mary Crow's gift, and I just threaded it in here because I thought it was kind of pretty and matched the theme. This is super cool. This is a little like name badge that you can clip onto your clothes. Rika, House of Stitch and Stash, gave these at the Amana retreat, but what you do is you hook your embroidery snips in here and it's hanging from your shirt, and this is retractable so you never lose your scissors. It's really cute. Really handy. Used this all weekend long, and I've actually used it since I've been home as well. This is just like a little jar of clay shapes that I got from Kay at the retreat, and I thought they were fun, and of course they matched the theme. This was also in Kay's little gift box, so it goes in here as well. And she also let me pick out, she had all these little different shapes, and I picked out the ladybug one. I think I may put it on a pin one of these days so I can stick it into a tomato, but for now I just left it in my box. At the quilt shop there in Amana, they had these darling little chicken pincushions, and I picked up 2, and this one is kind of a nice light pink. It matched my box, so I put it in here. Then Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher gave these tomatoes in her gift. I actually already had one from a fig tree box, but it was nice to have another one, and this one can stay in here. I put in this pin here is from So Pretty Pins on Facebook. You can purchase her pins through Facebook. I absolutely love them. I am going to try to get more. When I know that or hear that she's having a sale, I'll make sure and try to repost it because I love her pins. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just love it. And then funny enough, I had ordered these 2 pins. They are the Strawberry Thief pins from Jersey Girl Stitch Co. I had ordered these before I left, and they were waiting for me when I got home, so I also stuck those in my tomato as well. They may go in a finish someday, so may this, but for right now, they match my strawberry box, and so I just tucked them all back in here. And then finally from Lorinda A. Mary Crow, I thought it was so funny. She, in her little gift, she had this little strawberry dish, which is so stinking cute. This little plastic strawberry, I just love it. I thought that was so fun. This little strawberry charm has a little pin on it if you want to hook it to a project. But for now, I'm just tucking all of this stuff in my box. I may use these things for finishes someday, or I may just use them for display. It doesn't really matter. And then she stitched all these cute little strawberries and made them into little teeny tiny pillows. Absolutely adorable. And again, it all matches the theme. So super, super fun. This is my plan going forward, is to kind of decorate my box. Now, the only thing I want to say about that is my box is red with bright pink insides. It'll be great for general. Obviously for summer, I could switch this out for patriotic, even I think if I wanted to, although the pink's a little, I don't know. I could use it for Christmas, absolutely. I really, really, really want a Winterberry case in fall colors, orange or black. Even better if it could be orange and black, so I could switch it out or use it all fall and Halloween. But if you know anybody who makes the, or know the people who make the Winterberry cases, can you let me know? Anyway, here is my case, and I'm super excited. Love it, love it. It's kind of nice to have something decorated for next to my chair, and I haven't made a case. I've thought about it, but I haven't made one. But I'm really kind of liking the idea of not having tons of cases for every season, and instead kind of keeping all of my components in drawers and then just pulling different things out and mixing and matching and decorating up my really nice stitch case from time to time. So I hope that inspires you, and I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of my stitch case. Who's ready for Enable Vision? We got lots to talk about. First thing, Fat Quarter Shop sent some awesome things. I believe the Liberty Box is still available, so I want to talk about that first because it is amazing. So this is the Liberty Box. Each year, Fat Quarter Shop does several specialty boxes, and I'm going to unbox this for you. And I'm going to talk about my plans for what's in this box, and let's open it up and check it out. So I know that the box, a lot of the things do become available for a la carte if they're not available right now. The box is always so beautifully done. There is a code on the back, always that good stuff there. I'm going to actually just take everything out and we're going to talk about it. I love the box. I'll start with that. I'm a sucker for red, white, and blue though, always. Okay, so you always get the wonderful little handout that tells you exactly what is in the box. We're going to start with the Gleaming Stars and Stripes Forever Fat Quarter Bundle from Lori Whitlock for Riley Blake Designs, valued at $34.48. You get all of these wonderful fat quarters. They are beautiful. Then I'm going to skip. You get the Gleaming Quilt pattern valued at $9.98. So this is the pattern that Fat Quarter Shop designed specifically to work with this Fat Quarter bundle. You do have to purchase the finishing items. There is a finishing kit and you need to get backing. It tells you everything you need on the back of the pattern. Last I checked, the finishing kit was still available. I will link to both the Liberty Box and the finishing kit as long as they are still available in the shop. Now, I have a lot of patriotic quilts I either have started or want to make, so I am not actually going to make this quilt, even though I think it is lovely. But I do want to make something with the fabrics from this, so stay tuned because I will be making something with this fabric bundle. Okay, next up, the Celebration Mini Cooler Bag. I haven't even taken it out of the package, so I think this is so cute. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm on a little road trip, I always need like a little cooler bag. How cute is this, you guys? This is adorable. So this is valued at $15.48. I'm going to zip it up. Help it hold its shape a little bit. Super cute little popsicle star-spangled bag. Just the cutest little thing. It could even be a lunchbox, basically, for like if you take your lunch to work or whatever. I just think it is absolutely, or if you're out for the day, maybe you go to the farmer's market and you just need to keep some stuff cool. Just super, super cute. So that was a fun little bonus. I love that little bonus in here this time. Next up, something else I totally love, and it is the Stars and Stripes Mini Cutting Mat. You guys, I am just a sucker for all themed things. This is valued at $10.98. It is red and blue. Perfect. Well, it's red, white, and blue. Absolutely adorable. I already talked about the chart. You also get some superior Pima denim blue cotton thread, 50 weight, valued at $11.98. That matches perfectly. And finally, I'm so glad that I did not put this in my shopping cart to buy, which it was in my shopping cart. I took it back out, luckily. But you get the Lori Holt Americana Flag Enamel Happy Charm, valued at $7.48. And you can bet that what I'm going to make, it's going to be a project bag of some sort, I have a feeling. We are going to, a project bag, a tote bag, something. We are going to hang this little charm from it. It is absolutely adorable. I love the Lori Holt charms. So that is what you get in the Liberty box for 2025. Highly, highly recommend. Check it out. I will link to it down in the description below. I also want to show some charts and patterns that Fat Quarter Shop sent. They sent the Hometown Neighborhood Cherry House. I love the cherries. This is adorable. They sent the Poppies chart, part of their seed packet. The Dahlias, part of the seed packet. We have lots of quilt patterns. We have Riverside. This is a fantastic one if you don't like making anything with triangles. We have Cider Season, Hamptons, Snowdrop. We have the Pennyberry Farms series by Kim Deal. So cute. You can stitch it on the Mad for Plaid bag, or you can just stitch it on fabric. We have Springtime Blooms. The colors in this are so pretty. And then the brand new Birth Sampler Stitch from Fat Quarter Shop. These are going to be giveaways here on my channel sometime here, either today or in the future. We'll just see how that shakes out. Next, I'm going to talk about stuff I have picked up. So the first thing is I have been obsessed with berries. I'm sure you're all shocked. I've shown one in progress, one finished, one FFO'd just in this video today. And I've loved this one, and I finally found it, and so I ordered it. It's the Erica Michael Sweet Freedom Berry. It's not something new. Obviously, the small one is the same chart stitched on silk gauze. When we were at the Quilter Station Spring Retreat, Linda had a whole bunch of her silk gauze berries there. They're absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to stitch mine on the linen, but I do love that, and I'm excited to stitch this one up for Patriotic. Then a lot of this, actually, let me go through. The first thing, I joined the Sampler Guild of the Rockies. Jessica, Sweetwater Stitcher, inspired me, and then another friend told me she was going to sign up. I don't know, I haven't talked to her, so I'm not sure if she has yet or not. And then when I was at Amana, Katrina, who runs all of the email and everything for Sampler Guild of the Rockies, was there, and she had the Plum Street chart that I could pick up while I was there. So it was delightful to meet Katrina in person. I was like, oh, we've emailed. I didn't even put it together there for a minute that I had been emailing with her. So I grabbed this from her. It's the Plum Street Samplers Happy Day. I cannot wait to stitch this. It is gorgeous. And so very, very excited to get this one going. And then I'm just going to grab things from Amana that I got. I picked up several new pieces of fabric. I got the 40 count Bray by Needle and Flax. I already started the Teresa Kogut Coco's Garden that was on Bray. I have the hiccups. I'm so sorry. But on a different piece of fabric because I couldn't find this anywhere. But I saw this and I thought, well, I should definitely add it to my stash. So I got that. We'll do the fabric first. I got some 36 count Thornfield from Needle and Flax. I got 40 count Hemingway from Needle and Flax. There's a big theme here going. And then I have 40 count Sleeping Bear from Needle and Flax. So I got 36 because you never know when you might feel like 36 instead of 40. Okay, that's the fabric I got. I had previously purchased from Stacy Nash from her Etsy shop the PDF of the Velvet Carrot Needle Book. And Michelle had the floss, fabric, all the finishing stuff kitted up. So I purchased that to make that little needle book because after making the little pink velvet pear hedgehog, I'm all in on those little needle books. I did not have the Primrose Animal Cracker from Stacy Nash, so I picked up Primrose. I love these bunnies. Chantal gifted me Souvenirs of Summer from Blackbird, and it's because I want to stitch this right here. I think she started hers. So excited for that. So thank you so much, Chantal. I'm sure we got this from Teresa Vinette. She was there at the Amana retreat. So it's a little design. We also got the floss for it. And maybe some other little odds and ends, but that's mostly what I bought. I didn't buy a whole, we went to the antique store. I bought more stuff there. So then I had ordered from Jersey Girls Stitch Co. I had got the 1776 pins, obviously for Patriotic. And then actually in my needle case segment, I showed you the Strawberry Thief ones. I'd got those from them as well. And then Jersey Girl Stitch Co., they sent a cute little gift that I cannot wait to add to something. So thank you so much, ladies. So sweet. Oh, at the quilt shop in Amana, so I love Scattered Seed Samplers. They actually had a chart that I have had in my Etsy cart over and over and I hadn't picked up. So I picked up the Summer Sweets Pinkeep from Scattered Seed Samplers. I love the strawberry on this one. And you guys know I love stitching Tammy's design. So I picked that up because, like I said, I saw it. They had it there on the wall and I thought I had to have it. I'm going to share about the Sip and Stitch from Primrose Cottage. If you have not received yours, please skip to this timestamp so that you are still surprised in case you haven't seen it already. I have seen this shared multiple places. I know Primrose will likely share it in their live Flosstube this week. So I'm going to go ahead and share it here. Again, I've seen it multiple places, shared multiple places. So skip to that timestamp that I showed if you don't want to see it. So I think they knocked it out of the park. It is absolutely incredible. It's patriotic themed. I love patriotic stitching. It's one of my favorites. Kind of gearing up for the whole 250 years celebration of the US next year. And so I think these are all perfect charts to add to my stitching rotation for that. The drinking vessel I don't have in here to show you guys. I used it all weekend at my nephew's baseball game, so it's out. It needs to be washed. And but I love it. Patriotic themed. It's a nice tumbler. It keeps your drinks cold or hot. Beautiful. Love it. Matches everything. So I'm going to show you the charts, then I'll show you the goodies that came with it. This is the America My Home Sweet Home. I love, love, love this little village. This chart, stitch count 119 by 60, so it's a nice small size. Absolutely love this. Then we got God Bless America. Again, very much love this, 90 by 48. These are all super easy, doable, stitchable. Love these. This is the one I'm going to stitch first, mostly because I have an idea for it. I have to cover up part of this, and I'll hold it up close for you to see. It's this little Established 1776. I love the round, and I will share what I'm going to do for that. Now, it's charted in some DMC, but I'm actually going to use my leftover Valdani floss from stitching the Free Stitch Friday design. So, really love that one. That one should stitch up one evening. And those are the charts we received in the Sip and Stitch. We got all the DMC for this. Adorable floss drops. I love that. Some star floss drops to go ahead and kit up the design. Wonderful little bag charms. Love these. Or little scissor fobs, whatever you want to use them for. So cute. The little flag and the little USA. We got some stickers perfect for journaling, or I think these could even go on your water bottle, whatever you want to use them for, but darling little coordinating stickers, kind of like they do for their Sip and Stitch. And then we got a finishing kit. So we got some fabrics, perfect for finishing. We got some rickrack and a little piece of wool felt for like closing up the back of the stitches. And I thought that was a really nice addition to this. I don't always get the Sip and Stitch, but I love it, and I think they are really well put together. And like I said, with Patriotic, I knew that I likely can't go wrong with that because I usually like all of those kinds of things. So that is the Sip and Stitch for Patriotic from Primrose Cottage. Finally, for Enable Vision, the end of Enable Vision, because I've filmed this in two separate sections this week, I got my latest charts from Hands On Design. So again, along with my Patriotic stitching, I did order thread white and blue from Hands On Design, and I ordered all of the week's dye works. For this, I absolutely love the little pin cushion. Is that what we're going to call it? Yes. And I love, love, love it. So out of this, I am going to stitch the little pin cushion. And then I love these, even though I haven't stitched any of them from the previous, either books or releases, but I did order That's a Wrap from Hands On Design, and I did order, but don't have it yet, the ones from Summer House Stitchworks. They'll be coming this week. I love them, and I have an idea of how I'm going to do them, so I'm hoping to get some of these stitched up this summer. And then I did not have this book, so I did order And Blossoms as the Rose by Blackbird Designs. I love the drum. Love, love, love it. Let's see how many. There are multiple projects in here. I mean, so beautiful. I want to show this little pincushion drum. Great instructions for all of them. That's that other piece from the front, which I love. There's like a little sampler piece in here. And I just love the photos as well. It's just so inspiring. So picked up this book too. A couple more pieces of haul or Enable Vision. This is the Dasher and Dancer by Hobby House Press. I've actually seen, I believe it's Lori Holt who's started this perhaps. And then I saw Carol, the Saltbox Stitcher, show this, and I think they're doing it in July, and so I'm just helping myself to stitching along. And I am going to stitch mine in greens though instead of red. I don't know why. I just felt called to stitch it in green. If I'm not mistaken, maybe Lori Holt is stitching it in green. I might be wrong about that, but I've seen it stitch in green somewhere and I loved it. I picked up colored greens from Classic Colorworks in the Belle Soie Silk. I'll stitch mine on 40, let me see what the called for is, 40 Antique Lace Linen by Seraphim. I think I may actually have that. I probably will just stitch it on that. But I'll let you know for sure. This is going to be a Christmas in July start for me. But I absolutely love this one and cannot wait to get it started. I held off for as long as I could. And then when I saw Carol talking about it in one of her latest videos, I immediately went and, excuse me, purchased it from Lindy's Stitches. The other thing that has come this week is my Color and Cotton fabric of the month. I get the 36 count and I get the neutral and the color. The neutral this month is this beautiful gray called Hearthstone. Really, really beautiful basic. What I love most about Color and Cotton is the overdyed process is not super modeled. I think that's probably what I love best about their club is that it's just a very subtle modeling, and I think I like that best. It's absolutely gorgeous. The color of the month is called Pickle Juice, and I really think this is a fun color too. I always like the color fabrics. I don't use them as much as I want to, or I would like to, or that I have in the past, but I do like having them, and I do have some fun ideas for these. But this is called Pickle Juice, and again, it is beautiful. You can see the modeling, but it is not super drastic, so I absolutely love that. Then I do want to show this as a little save the date. This is the Midsummer Stitch from Lindy's Stitches. There will be exclusive patterns. It is July 19th and 20th. There's the Whip Speed Dating, Community Finish Parade, all the wonderful things that we have come to love and expect from Lindy's Stitches online virtual events. There's going to be lives with your favorite Flosstubers, and I cannot wait to take part in this event, and I hope you will join me. Okay, I didn't quite get through all of my Enable Vision when filming the other day, and then I took the weekend off to attend baseball games and spend time with family. So I'm going to share the rest of that right now. Now, I did join the Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month Club. My friend we enabled one another, I suppose. So this is the Wet Sand fabric, which was the fabric of the month for this month. I really love this color. I do think Bestitch Me fabric has quite a bit more modeling than some, and so you do need to be aware of that and maybe pick the right piece for it, if that makes sense. I stitched on another piece that was extremely modeled. It was the called for fabric. You guys might remember it. It's Goodness Gracious from With Thy Needle and Thread. I bought it kitted up with the called for Bestitch Me fabric, and mine is just so terribly modeled that I'm going to restart that. I may restart it this summer. Who knows? I keep meaning to, but I don't think this one is near as modeled as that, and I think it is really, really pretty. So this is called Wet Sand. The next thing I'm very excited about. Like so super excited about. So you may have seen me reposting about these, and this is for my quilting friends. I have been using clappers for a really long time. I love them. When I got them originally, I did not realize, I guess at the time, until watching some of Kimberly at Fat Quarter Shop's videos, that they were as useful as they are. And I love them. They really do help keep your seams flat when you're ironing so that your block is super duper flat. Very useful, very beautiful. I have been a fan of Modern American Vintage for quite a while. Love their things, have never purchased anything, had wanted to get the Coriander Quilts sheep block clapper and forgot to put my order in for it when they pre-ordered it. And so I saw the new fruit clappers that they have going on. It is a pre-sale right now. They're taking pre-orders through the 20th. You only have a few days left to get your pre-order in for these beautiful, beautiful clappers. And I highly encourage you to do so. And I'm going to show them all to you right now. So I chose the light wood color. They come in light and dark. In fact, I'm going to pop a photo up actually right here on the screen to show you the difference. But they are based on the very popular fruit salad book from Joanna Figueroa of Fig Tree Quilts. And they're just perfect for summertime. You guys, when I tell you the quality is next to none, not kidding at all. They are heavy, they are beautifully made, and if you love a beautiful tool in your craft room, highly recommend these. This is not me trying to tell you that you have to have these or anything like that or have these exact ones. This is just me sharing about another small business that makes a very well-crafted, beautifully made tool that if you are a quilter, you may like to have in your craft stash. So I'm going to share all 4 fruits with you. Full disclosure, I bought 3 of these myself with my own money, and I was gifted the 4th one by Modern American Vintage. So thank you so much. This is the strawberry clapper. They are very beautiful, very heavy, very beautiful. Look at the design in this, you guys. It looks like the quilt blocks right here. I want to show you the side view of this, but these are amazing. I am filming a little video, like a video of me pressing a block and using these, so stay tuned for that. I'll share it on social media. But remember that your pre-order needs to be in by the 20th. I think it closes on the 20th. So you have about 4 days from the day this video goes live to put your order in for these. So again, strawberry. Here is the pear clapper. Look at this design, you guys. So beautiful. I, again, got the light wood version of these. And there is a version of the darker one. Here is the cherry. So the wonderful cherry block. I actually have like a little mini quilt that I made years ago that I've never done anything with, and I think I'm actually going to finish it up. So maybe that's what I'll use to film my little Instagram reel for you, just to show you, because I'm going to have to take it out and press it and everything before I make it into a little teeny tiny mini quilt. But this is the cherry. And then we have the pineapple block. Or pineapple clapper, pineapple block on the clapper. So beautiful. I mean, these are stunning, stunning, really works of art pieces. Woodworking, just absolutely stunning. So again, we have the pineapple, we have the cherry, we have the pear, and the strawberry. And again, I just want to thank Modern American Vintage. Yes, I did purchase some of these, but they also gifted me one of them. And I want to thank Modern American Vintage, and I want to thank Joanna for giving me the opportunity to share these wonderful tools with the quilting community. They're going to be beautiful not only to use for my quilting and pressing my seams, but to use as display in my craft room, and they're going to be beautiful in your craft rooms. So I just want to encourage you guys, if that's something you're interested in, if you love fig tree quilts like I love fig tree quilts, and you want all of the things, I wanted to share this with you because I think they are an absolutely incredible tool. They are something I use all of the time. Whenever I'm doing any kind of quilting, any kind of sewing project, you can bet with my seams, I'm using a clapper, and these are, bar none, the best ones I have ever used. So again, absolutely love them. Get your order in by June 20th. I also want to thank Chris at Modern American Vintage because I did ask about ordering the sheep clapper, and he sent me one, and it is adorable and absolutely amazing. If they are available for purchase, I don't know if he's going to make them again or make them available again, but I will put a link down below. But I just want to say thank you so much because I did ask if they had, if he had any of these for purchase, and he said he did have just maybe one or two and that he would send me one, and I love, love, love it. I actually have a sheep, this quilt this quilt exactly. So I'm thrilled to have this and work on it. And I love this one as well. Then Joanna Figueroa of Fig Tree Quilts sent along some fun things. And she sent me some quilt patterns and cross stitch patterns that I wanted to share with you because I am a huge fan. I think I've mentioned this many times. You've seen me use her fabric. You've seen me use her patterns in the past. My favorite Christmas quilt, I'm going to link to that video right here during Vlogmas where I shared the quilt. It's the huge, I think it's called Yuletide Star. It's probably the quilt I'm most proud of making. I had bought a scrappy bundle from her website, and I mean, this has been years ago, over 10 years ago. Over 12 years ago. It's been a while. It's probably the quilt I'm most proud of because it was completely out of my wheelhouse. I'm completely self-taught for quilting, but it was so easy to put together. She has the best instructions and all of that. So I will post that video or link that video here for you guys. But she sent along some of her newer patterns for me. So here's Starry Pines. I love that tree shape of this one. And this is a smaller quilt, so I think this would be a cute, like, back of the couch, little ladder quilt, just display quilt for the holidays. This is my favorite. I actually want to sew this up this year. This is the Holly Tree Skirt. I love this one. Love, love, love. And you can really see here on the back that she uses some of her beautiful ribbons to tie this up. And I did purchase some of these, so I am going to do that. Pomegranate and Pine, I think, is good for any time. You could do this in any color combo, and this is just a wonderful basic quilt. This one is a nice throw size, 44.5 by 50.5. Love this one as well. Same with this one. This one is called Ribbons and Stars. Imagine doing this in red, white, and blue, red and white, blue and white, whatever color combo you want anytime. And obviously this one is very Christmassy themed. Beautiful in that colorway as well. Comes in several sizes, 40.5 square, 52.5 inch square, and 64.5 inch square. So kind of table topper, lap quilt, throw quilt. Christmas Village Runner, and I believe this is with the running yardage fabric. Let's see. It's the Christmas Village border print. That's what it is. And I think, so it's not going to really require tons of piecing. Really, really fun and easy. Love that. And then we have 3 cross stitch patterns. I think I did download this one for sure. I need to check to see if I have the other 2. So I will offer this as a giveaway. This is the Christmas Piazza cross stitch, and it's really cute. I love that they made it into a bag. I actually really love the little cray version back here. Super, super cute. This was stitched on 14 count. It's really going to be small. So imagine you could put a bunch of these together. You could use them as little labels and things on your gift bags at Christmas. I do have plans to do something similar like that. Maybe even similar just to the little bag shared here. Absolutely love it. I know when Joanna shared this last year, I purchased the download of this cross stitch chart and I purchased the bag pattern. It's an old pattern of hers. I got the download and I will link to those down below as well in case you guys want to do that. And this might be a really good Vlogmas 2025 project. Okay. Then this is the Ribbon and Stars cross stitch, and this one's a little bit bigger, but same basic idea. I think this could be made into some fun little gift bag decor things or other little projects. Super fun, especially if stitched on a higher count fabric, which I usually stitch on 36 or 40. So I think there's a lot of little fun applications for that. Would be a super quick stitch just like the other one. And then this is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, based on her quilt, sampler quilt. And it's a cross stitch sampler. And again, let's see, the sample was stitched on 16 count. I would likely stitch it on 36 or even 40, so it'll be nice and small. And it was stitched with DMC, but I think it would be really fun to do an overdyed conversion pardon me, and stitch this and do a little framed print of it. I've not done the quilt either, even though I've thought about it several times. I didn't buy the kit for it, but I have plenty of fig tree fabric. I think I could probably even put together my own, but I love this one as well. The stitch count is 109 by 133. It's not that bad. It's really small. It would even be pretty in the DMC, but I thought it might be fun to try to do an overdyed conversion and stitch this up. I just love it. So thank you so much, Joanna, for sending these along. I love them. And again, you guys all know this already. I'm a huge fan. So it was really thrilling to have her reach out and ask if I would share some of these fun things. So thank you again. So a little bit of additional happy mail. I want to thank my friend Courtney for this beautiful card and the Starbucks gift card. Thank you so much, Courtney. She's my biggest fan. She and I know. I met Courtney at the spring break retreat for 141 Design, and I absolutely love her. So thank you so much, Courtney. I love it. And then from April of Crafty Bluebonnet Designs. Crafty. April sent her new charts, and I'm going to show you one of each of them. They're wonderful. She sent the 1776. She sent the America. Liberty. And she also sent Berry Sweet and Berry Sweet Bag. Super fun. So you can stitch this on one of those Mad for Plaid bags as well. April, thank you so much for sharing these. I will be offering these as a giveaway, likely in next week's video. I already planned out this week's, but I will be offering some of these as giveaways. So stay tuned for that. Okay, I think that's it for Navel Vision. If there's anything else, it's just going to have to get filmed this week. Let's do some giveaways and winners. So from my Stitching with Nichol Flosstube episode 113, I had 4 giveaways. The winner of the ghost themed giveaway, which was this chart here and some floss drops, is Pat Fortner. Pat, if this is your comment, please email me at the email address shown here on the screen with what you won and your physical mailing address, and I will get that out to you ASAP. The next giveaway, I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I do too know what it was. It was this JBW designed around France design. This goes to Lalina Hero. If this is your comment shown here on the screen, again, please email me with what you won and your physical mailing address. Next, I had a Christmas themed giveaway. I have to remind myself, it's been a while. I was giving away these charts here in that Christmas bundle. It was called a Santa bundle. The winner is Cheryl Phipps. Cheryl, if that is you, again, please email me. And if you put what you won and your mailing address, it helps me out a ton. Finally, we have the final giveaway. This was called the Moon Giveaway. It was some charts that were in the Kitten Stitcher box from last Christmas Advent. And it was these 3 charts right here. The winner is Debbie Greenfield. Debbie, if that is you, congratulations. Please email me what you won and your mailing address. Okay, this week, how many outfit changes can I have in one video? So my video did not record my giveaway section, so here I am to talk about this week's giveaways. This week, I am offering 3 one-month subscriptions to my Stitching Patreon tier. This gives you early access to content. This gives you some exclusive content, exclusive opportunities, things like that, behind the scenes, all that kind of thing. So I will be offering 3 of those in order to be considered, and it's a digital product. So if you're anywhere, you are welcome to leave a comment for that. And all you need to do is use my name, Nicole, somewhere in your comment for a chance to win. Now, if you already have a subscription, I will gift you a month, an additional month subscription for that, or I can just extend your subscription a month. So that is a $20 gift per person. So leave a comment for that. And that's going to be the giveaway this week. I'm doing it super duper easy. So let's talk about July stitching plans. I plan on doing a little bit of Christmas in July stitching. I think I shared one of them. If not, I will have edited this together. But one of the stitch-alongs that is starting July 1st, I believe, is the Nativity Tiny Town Sal. I'm going to pop up the Nativity Tiny Town right here on camera. I didn't get mine out yet. I am kitting it up. Likely I will have that to share with you guys next week. But I am going to be doing a drum tutorial to finish that. Now, that being said, I think I mentioned earlier in the video that I am going to be stitching mine on a smaller count fabric, but I am also going to be sharing the drum tutorial finish for the 32 count size, which is the called for, I think, for all of the tiny towns, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that. But I stitched the spring blooming tiny town. Is it blooming tiny town? I have just a little bit left to finish on that, so I will be finishing that and filming the finishing tutorial, which would be the same steps to finish the Nativity Tiny Town. Mine is just going to end up being a little bit smaller. I am going to make it into a drum, but it will be a little smaller because it is going to be stitched on probably 36 instead of 32. Anyway, so that is one. Okay, the other stitch along happening in July. Also cut off that portion of the video. I mean, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm a hot mess. Is the Dasher and Dancer, which I'm just going to pop the photo in right here. I showed you that earlier during the Enable Vision section. So Nativity Tiny Town and Dasher and Dancer are like my 2 Christmas in July pieces. So there will be a drum video tutorial. My plan is to finish that one. Dasher and Dancer, there's not a chance. There's not a snowball's chance in HE double hockey sticks. That's going to be done in July, you guys. However, I want to start it. A start along is fine too. It doesn't have to be a complete stitch along. It can be a start along. Okay, friends, this was a lot of information today. I hope you enjoyed this super long video. I think that is it for today, friends. I know that was a lot of information. I'd been gone for a little bit. I do plan to be back to weekly Stitching with Nichol Flosstube episodes, so please stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for joining me. As always, I appreciate you all so much. As a reminder, Anything I talk about in the video, I do try to link down in the description. I do run out of room. In the description box, it will say continued in the first pinned comment in the video. So if you are looking for something and you happen not to find it, definitely check the comment section for that pinned comment, because likely the link will be there. If I've missed something, always feel free to reach out and let me know. And again, thank you to everyone who's joined my Stitching Patreon. I love having you there. I have lots of fun content coming for you in there. It's a lot of early access content. It is definitely not necessary, but I do very much appreciate the support for everything I provide here on YouTube as well as out there in social media land. So until next time, friends, have a wonderful stitchy week. Bye, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new Flosstube stitching or quilting video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. But my last Stitching with Nichol, or yes, newsletter. Do you think I even know what fabric I'm stitching on? Sure don't. This is a great story, isn't it, you guys? Do you think I put it on here? Oh, of course not. Why would we do something smart like that? We don't want to do that. I don't think I'm using the called for fabric. No, I know I'm not, because it called for vintage beeswax by R&R and I didn't have that. Okay, you may have remembered in one of my previous videos that Tammy of Scattered Seed Samplers what is my deal? Needle minders, good grief. They are going to be not only beautiful, use them, but they're going to be beautiful on display in my craft room as well, and in your craft rooms as well, or in your craft rooms. They're going to be beautiful as to you. They're going to be beautiful. Oh my word. Okay, so briefly, Christmas. Did I talk about that at all?